Okay, hello replay viewers, welcome in. It's Cooking Saturday. Today I'm going to be doing a Mexican feast. We're going to do three things. We're going to do a chili con carne, we're going to do some nachos, and then we're going to do some fresh salsa or salsa. I did buy it in a pack, in like a fajita pack, so I have got that as a backup if it goes wrong, but I did need to use some tomatoes. So welcome in everyone. We'll just wait for our chefs to join us on the live stream because I'm not really meant to start until the hour, so we've got another 2 more minutes. So let me just check everything's working correctly, and put a comment in the chat as well, guys, just to check the chat's working. Am I mirrored or are we good? Let me just, if I show you we'll show you this pack that I'm going to be using. Is that the correct way around, or do I need to flip it? Let me know in the chat. Do I need to flip this? I think usually I flip it myself, so I'm going to do it now anyway, just in case. So I think I was mirrored. That should be the right way around now. Can you all see that? Does that say chili con carne? If it is, put a 1 in the chat. But it should be fine anyway. So, and I'm actually doing this recipe today. A slightly different recipe. It's using artificial intelligence, believe it or not. So I've got my phone. I've got 3 recipes, as I say. So let me just, and then I copied the recipe and put it into my notes. So this is ChatGPT's version of a chili con carne. Hello Anne, good to see you. So make sure you follow Anne. She's one of the chefs coming live today. So we've got Anne. So I'm live now. We've got Brenda coming up after me, and then we've got Anne coming on after Brenda. However, I'm going to put it out there now. Next month, August, let's try and get, I know we say it every time, but if you can get one more person to join us, then we could have, we'd have 6 people. Hopefully Darby's going to join us next month, and we'll get Gemma involved as well, and Jeff. So that is your mission for next month. Try to get one person. They may have cooked before on Cooking Saturday, but if not, try and get someone new to come and cook on Cooking Saturday next month, okay? So we have to stick with that. So let's do the Mexican food then. We'll get started. It's very hot today. You might not be able to see it, but I've got my fan. So there's my fan there, which is hanging up. So that's keeping me nice and cool. So let's get started then, guys. We're going to do chili con carne. We're going to make some nachos. I've got all the ingredients. And then we're going to do some fresh salsa as well. I've got a brand new gadget, guys. This is the new gadget, which you've probably seen already, which I absolutely love. The NutriBullet, magic bullet from NutriBullet. So we're going to make some fresh salsa in this. I've also got some guacamole already, so it's gonna be amazing. You're gonna be drooling by the end of this live stream. I'm really looking forward to doing this. So let's get started then. Where's my phone? Because we're gonna follow the phone. I've not done anything. I've not chopped up anything. So we'll take this off for a second, and we'll start cutting up our, I think it's onions first. So if you do want this recipe, then message me and I will send it to you. But I hope you're all well. I've been sat out in the garden all morning. I packed up about 1 or 2 o'clock, and then I had something to eat because I wanted a little sandwich. Anne's making cookies. What are you making, Brenda? Put it in the chat. So let me grab my chopping board, because everything, even though it was organised, it never goes to plan. Try not to spill my paprika. There we go. So I'm going to chop up everything first, and then we'll get cooking. And then the chili does need to cook because I'm not doing it in the pressure cooker. You can do this recipe the same way, and then put it in a pressure cooker, or you can just do it on your stove. Okay, can you all see this okay, everyone? Okay, so we'll start by cutting up the I think it's the onions first. So we're going to chop an onion, garlic and red pepper. So let's get started. If you've got any questions along the way, do put it in the chat. So who loves a chili? I love a chilli. I've not made a chilli in a long time. Not on the stove anyway. I made one in the pressure cooker a couple of, it was a few months ago. But I thought to myself today, the weather forecast is saying 30 degrees. It's about 29 degrees, but it feels much hotter. It's not too bad in this kitchen, but I didn't want to put on too many gadgets and stuff, and I didn't want to use the oven. Which will make the tortillas. But who loves Mexican food? I love Mexican food. Slightly worried about that then, cutting my fingers. We don't want any accidents. So you're all saying to me, watch them fingers, Aiden. I normally use my dicer, don't I? This is like going back to the old style of cooking I used to do. Do you remember before all the gadgets? And do you know, funny enough, I found my, do you remember the green chopper? I actually found it because I've been having a little bit of a sort out. And getting rid of new stuff, well, getting rid of old stuff, and then probably end up getting more new stuff. So I'm just slicing my onion. This is quite a large onion, so cutting that up. We'll pop it on a little plate and keep it all together. Obviously you could cut your onion as you want it. Now it does actually state for 2 onions, so if you wanted to do 2 onions, that's up to you. I'm just going to do 1 onion, and the reason for that is because I've got some I've got some other onion. What's the other one called? Like a salad onion. I've got that one which I'm going to use later, so I don't want too much onion. Although we will use plenty of garlic. So I'm just going to get rid of them roots there. Get rid of them. Thank you for sharing. Do share out, guys, if you love cooking, and share this video if you're watching on the replay as well. There, we'll get rid of that. Oh. It's all going to cook. Okay, next thing then, we need our red pepper. Now I've got a question for you. Should I use a yellow pepper or a green pepper? Because I'm going to put 2 peppers in this. I would prefer to use the yellow one because it needs eating. I need to chop that little piece off. Which one should I use? See, some people do use yellow peppers and some people use green peppers, and some people don't use red peppers. But it says red. Keep your seeds as well, guys, because they are perfect to grow. Just put them in some paper towel, fold it up, put a little bit of water on it, into a plastic bag, put it in a warm place, and then you can grow your own peppers. So Brenda's saying both or all of them. I probably should we put them all in then? I just thought to myself, putting 3 peppers in might be a little bit too much. It's ages since I've cooked like this. I bet you've missed this. I've missed this, to be honest with you. And I've also found all my HelloFresh recipes again. So I think I'll be coming back on live and doing recipes again. Because I've found myself slipping a little bit and falling back into quick meals. Not, you know, they're always fresh meals that I make, but I'm saying things like takeaways and things like that. But sometimes it can be cheaper to buy a takeaway than, you know, than making it fresh. But I do want to just eat fresh again. And I do love cooking. It's just, I think because I've had a bit of a sort out in this kitchen, I'm back to how it should be, really, and then we can start cooking again. So they're the red ones. Look at the colour on them. I love peppers. Okay, so we've got the red peppers, we've got the onions. We'll do the yellow one. I'm just going to slice that off. This doesn't look too good. Okay. So how are you, Anne? How's everybody today? Are we all looking forward to cooking? I do prefer the camera up here now, though, because I can actually read the comments. Yeah, we'll add them in then. Let's add them in. So I think tomorrow I usually go have something to eat at the local pub. So I'm thinking that might be the last sort of meal out, and then just really get into eating healthier again. Not saying that I don't eat healthily, but you feel a bit guilty, don't you, when you know, in yourself, you know, not cooking, if you know what I mean. It doesn't sound as bad as it sounds. Right, these look so good. You're gonna love this recipe though. Some of the things I'm gonna be adding into this, you'll think, really could I add that in? Let's do the green pepper. We'll go for the green as well. Why not? Let's find the green pepper hiding away. Because sometimes you put stuff in your fridge and then it just stays there and then it ends up getting binned. So now, Anne, you cut your pepper slightly differently, don't you? Because I remember that time you said, Anne told me off once. She said to me, you waste so much pepper, Aiden. You probably noticed it already, but I did keep it. Look, I've kept his head, so I might eat that. But yeah, I think there's another way to do it. You'll have to show me next time you've got a pepper. But I just cut straight down the top, go around the side, take the seeds out, and then cut it in half. Pop that to one side, keep the seeds, and then cut out that white part. But I do cut the white parts off now. Didn't used to do that before Anne told me off. How's that, Brenda? I ate one like an apple for lunch yesterday. What, like a pepper? An actual whole pepper? You know, I used to know somebody at school who would eat a whole cucumber without cutting it. And then when you think about it, you think, you know, all it is, you know, water inside, isn't it? I've noticed there's a lot of drinks at the minute with like cucumber in and lots of different, just things that are refreshing, I guess, but you wouldn't expect. So the drink that I had today was lime and basil, which was really nice. And then they've got the other drinks that I've been having, the mint and, what is it, mint and lime? I think it's mint and lime. I've got one here actually. This is another one that I've got. Watermelon and strawberry. Watermelon and strawberry. So nice. Right, so we'll put them on the plate. Oh, it's falling off. It's falling off. So we're doing a chili con carne for those that just joined, if you're wondering what I'm cooking. Right. So I'm going to pop this to one side. Look at that. So much there. Right, put that to one side. Okay. Next step then. Where's my phone? Here it is. Now, if you've got a chili, then use a chili. I've not got a chili, so instead I'm going to use... Well, actually, I don't need to use a chili because I've got the seasoning mix. So if you've got chili powder, that's fine. I did think to myself, if I didn't have chili powder, then use like a garam masala or just something like that's got a bit of spice to it. Because it doesn't matter what's in it. Garam masala is a mix of different spices that you would use for a curry. It's got all your spices in there and it gives it a nice bit of heat, but it gives it a nice floral, just a bit of aroma, if you know what I mean. But never burn your spices, but you do need to cook them. A lot of people don't cook the spices. Right, I think that's everything to chop up. Yeah, until we get to the salsa. So into the bin that goes. Let's heat up the we'll heat up the pan. So this pan I'm using here, this is from Nadia Hussein. It's a prestige pan. So let's get this heated up. Okay. And also, I'm not going to use white rice today. I'm going to be using a really quick rice. And I saw it and it says Mexican rice. I thought, with us doing a mixed Mexican style meal, you just pop that into a pan for a couple of minutes and then it's done. Plus it's got all the extra flavours in there as well. So that's just a really quick way to do rice. Rice can take forever to cook. It still tastes the same, doesn't it? So really, really good. These, you can put them in your microwave as well. So do you have these in the US, Brenda, and Denmark, Anne? I think I've seen you have something similar before. Right, this is going to get heated up. I'm going to spray some oil in. So I've got my new little bottle. So I've got loads of new things since last time. So a little bit of oil, or you can just use this. Let it go up. 1 minute. Okay, get it off. There we go. So you can pour your oil in just like that. Okay. So while that's heating up, let's go on to the next step. So if you're using a pressure cooker, you can pop this on medium heat. We're now going to add in the beef. Now it says 450 grams of beef mince. Now I don't know how much I've got here, but I'm just going to put it in because it needs cooking off. So beef mince, support your local butchers as well if you can, rather than go to your supermarket. So I'm going to pop this into the pan. And I also find some of the ones you get at your supermarket, they're all vacuum packed now, which I don't particularly like. Right, let's get my spoon. Where's my spoon gone? Here's this one. So I'm just going to break this up. I do have a actual meat cutter. You know, where's that? I think it's somewhere behind there. So we're going to cook the mince off. In fact, I think it said to cook the onions off first, but some say to cook your beef off, some say your onions. So we're going to add in the onion, the peppers, and, well, it says the chilli, so I'm going to add them in now as well. So just going to pop them to one side. Okay, I normally do that first, but don't worry, everything's going to cook nicely. Everything will be cooked. So I'm just going to divide it in half while that's cooking. Okay, and then after this we're then going to add in the garlic and what does it say here? Garlic, pepper and the chilli. But I'll wait till that's done before adding the spices in, okay? Right. It's just, yeah, I'm just reading it wrong, that's why. So, looks fine to me. In fact, so you know what I'm going to do? I am going to take out a few of these. Take the peppers out. Because I've got too many there, you see. They'll all get cooked. Right. I'll leave the onions in, but I'll take the peppers out. Okay guys, don't forget to share and like the video, guys. Tap on the screen. I've not got any quiz or anything for you today, but I might come on after Anne and do a bit of a quiz. We might do a bit of a crossword. And right, so we're just going to take the peppers out. It's really warm in here now. I'm so glad this fan's above my head. So I'm just going to wait until the onions and the beef cooks before adding in the peppers. Some of them have started cooking, so I'll just leave them at the bottom. So I'm going to mix that in now because it doesn't matter with the onions. So give that a good mix. Okay, break them up. And here's a little tip for you. If you've got onions that you've not cut properly, just get some scissors and just cut them up. You can make them a bit smaller. So which do you prefer, guys? Your onions, do you like them in long strips or do you prefer them cut up smaller? Put in the comments. You know, I'm actually thinking maybe to add an extra onion in. What do you think, guys? I guess because I've got the other onion, I don't really need that. Okay, so we're going to brown this off. I'm going to read what it says on the packet because sometimes it can be a little bit different. So it just says brown the mince and the onions in a saucepan. Drain off any excess fat. We're going to leave that in though for today because it's cooking Saturday. Brenda says smaller. Okay, Brenda. And then it says, well, we're going to go off the other recipe, but mix the contents of the sachet with water. So we'll add a little bit of water as well, which ChatGPT doesn't say that. So I don't think it did. No, it doesn't say that. Oh wait, add a splash of water if it gets too thick. And then it says bring to the boil or add the kidney beans, tomatoes and simmer for 20 minutes. So obviously while it's simmering we'll be doing the nachos. So I'm just going to make sure everything's cooked through. I'm going to cut that onion a little bit smaller as well. Get another pair of scissors. Right, where's it gone? There we go. So it's slice. Just these big ones. Yeah, I just thought with it being really hot weather today, I thought let's make something that you would do in a hot climate, I guess, you know. And I was going to make a chili actually. I was tempted to make a chili because I've not made one for a long time. So I had the kit and I thought, yeah, we'll do it today. I think if I didn't do a chili, I probably would have made a dessert or something to cool down. So this is cooking really nicely now. Oh, is it a bit unstable, Anne? No. Hope we get it sorted. I'll have to just, if the screen goes black, or it freezes, we'll just have to, we'll be a bit more patient today then. And this smells really good already. So I'm going to wait till the beef's browned fully before adding in the spices. Now you're probably going to say, well, what spices would you add to a chili if you're doing it from scratch? So are you ready, guys? If you want to get a pen and paper, then please do. But if you want the recipe, I can send it to you as well. Okay, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, salt and pepper, and then a tablespoon of tomato puree. There you go. So that's your spices if you're wanting the chili con carne spice. But I'm going to be adding in this mix, and then I'm going to be adding in some mixed spice. Okay. So, but I only do it once the meat's browned. You can. This is a similar recipe to. I made a Thai dish once where you browned off the meat you added in the spices, and then you added in like lots of different sauces and things, and it was so tasty. I think it was Thai basil. Do you remember that? Beef Thai basil. I've got the recipe somewhere. So this is like a starter as well for cottage pie. Is it cottage? Yeah, cottage pie. Or if you're doing shepherd's pie, it's lamb mince. This smells really nice. Hello, hello Anna. Good to see you. Right, we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. Oh, just a few more pieces of beef there at the bottom. So I want the chili to be simmering, and then we'll go on to the next part, which is the salsa and the nachos. Looking forward to the nachos as well. Okay, another couple more minutes, guys, and then I'll add the spices in. Got a nice quick drink. Cheers, everyone. Stay hydrated. Oh, thank you for following. Thank you for following Jace. Is that Jace? Jace the Who? Hello, Jace. Good to see you. Is it a new account you've got? Could be a new account, I think. Oh, let's add some salt and pepper in, because I took my salt out. So we're going to add a little bit of salt to start with. And this is sea salt, pink Himalayan sea salt. These are brilliant. If you've not got one of these yet, then get one. This is a rechargeable one. The other ones that I had previously, where you put batteries in, so get the rechargeable ones and you get 2 of them. So this, I've not had to charge this up actually since I got it, which is pretty good. Just saves you so much time, because all you got to do is press the button. Right, that looks brown to me. Just making sure, go around the edges. Oh, it smells so good, this. Oh, I'm sending you the smells your way, guys. Right, let's add in the chili con carne mix. So, I'll put my scissors down, there they are. Now, we're going to add all this in. Well, yeah, we'll add it all in. Just add it in gradually, because this has also got flour in, I think. This has got like, oh, this smells good. It'll absorb all that fat as well. You know, some of the juices, not fat, the juices, the good stuff. That's what you want, flavour. So just add it in gradually, because if you just put it all at once in one area, then it doesn't coat it as well, I don't think. Once you mix it in, it will, but you might slightly burn all the spices, and you don't want to do that. So actually turn your pan down as well. So I put mine on quite high. I said that at the start though, didn't I? I said make sure you do it on a medium heat if you're doing it in a pressure cooker. It smells so good. It smells so good. It's quite a lot. There's quite a lot in this, maybe because it's meant to be for... I definitely need to add that water in. But just allow them spices to come through. You see how it's starting to thicken up? See that? And if it gets a little bit too vigorous, remember you're in control. You can just lift it off the hob and just stir it. That's all you got to do. That's why all these top chefs, you know, when they're always lifting stuff off, obviously they're in a restaurant or a kitchen, and they're, you know, they've got to keep the heat, haven't they, constant. That's why they know when to take it off and when not to. So let me just add a little bit of water to this. Just grab a little bit of water. So there it goes. A little bit of water, It just keeps everything nice and cooking away. Right, let's move on to the next step. Okay, so we need to add some garlic. We forgot to add the garlic. Get a garlic press. Now it only says 2 cloves of garlic, but I'm going to add a little bit more in. So, add this in. Brenda loves this gadget, don't you, Brenda? IKEA. When you're next in England, Brenda, go to IKEA and get one. If I see one, I'll get you one. So I'm just going to add an extra clove of garlic. Look at that, look. So good. Right. Mix all this in. This smells amazing. We need to add the peppers in as well now, guys. So get your peppers in. And then I'm going to also add in... then we need to add the tomatoes. So I'm not too worried that the peppers haven't cooked down as much. They will do. But I want a little bit of crunchiness. Does that make sense? But actually, what I'll do is I'll cut them up. I'm going to cut them a little bit smaller, and then when they're in that sauce, they won't be too crunchy, but they'll be al dente. Plus they were too big anyway, I think. But you see what I'm doing? I'm taking control of this dish. You might think, oh, it's a disaster. Some people might think that, or if you're cooking, you might think, oh, it's a disaster. It doesn't ever have to be a disaster. I was meant to do this. I promise you on that one. Right. So cut them up as big or as small. Some people like long strips. I was going to cut them up. There we go. Right. Give it a mix. Looking good. Right, let's get some liquid in this, because I think you're all slightly worried now. You're thinking, oh, this is going to be a disaster. So we're going to add in some chopped tomatoes. And it's just a tin of chopped tomatoes, simple as that. Add that in. A bit of liquid. If you've just joined, welcome to the live stream, guys. We're making a chili con carne. Mexican chili, well, kind of Mexican chili con carne. And then we're going to do some nachos, and then we're going to make some salsa to go on top of the nachos. I really wish you could smell this, because this smells so good. So we just added the tomatoes in. Can you all guess what we're going to add in next? Any guesses? There we go, just give you a close-up. Look at that. Oh. So next up we're going to add in some water. Now it says to use the tin from the from the actual tomatoes, so you can use half of that. I'm just going to add in some more water. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to give it a stir. That looks a lot better now. I think it's better to always add less water and then add it gradually, because if you're going to be adding in some kidney beans and other things. Okay, but just mix that in. It smells so good. Don't forget it's going to simmer as well. Now this is the point you could add in a stock cube. If you've got a beef stock cube, add that in as well. But I'm not going to add that in. We're going to add a little bit of sugar. Actually, we don't add the beans in yet. Probably because then they go mushy, don't they? But we're going to add a little bit of sugar. Don't have to add sugar in, but that's what it's saying. Add a little bit of sugar. There's probably sugar in that spice mix as well. And I'm going to turn the heat up and we're going to let this simmer. And then we can add more water to it. There'll be water in the kidney beans. So we've got the kidney beans there as well. I've also got some mixed beans. So, yep. Anne says the dark chocolate. I'm not going to use dark chocolate. I'm going to use just some Cadbury's instant cocoa. But yeah, you could add that in. I've also got some Worcester sauce here as well. I'm certain I saw Worcester sauce. You can add that in. Oh, we're going to add some mixed spice in this as well. So I've got some mixed spice left over from Christmas. So I'm just going to add just a teaspoon of mixed spice. And this has got in the cinnamon. And what else has it got in this? Coriander seeds, nutmeg, cloves, allspice and ginger. So really good for you. You could even add some turmeric as well if you've got turmeric, which is very good for you. So you add what you want to add to it. It's entirely your preference. So I've turned this up now. It's just heating up that cold water that I added. Probably better to add hot water, not cold water. But that will slowly come together. I am going to add some Worcester sauce. Just a little bit. Because I'm certain I saw it. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit into the chilli. Not too much. Somebody out there is going to say, ugh. Or you could use Henderson's. Henderson's is more popular these days than Worcestershire sauce. So we like the Yorkshire sauce. Henderson's is where it's at. So have a look at it in your supermarket. Henderson's. It's actually cheaper as well. I think once you've got a brand like that, what they do is you get less and less and less. They change the recipe and then they double the price. Whilst Henderson's is exactly the same recipe as it ever was. And you get the same amount. And it's cheaper as well. So why would you not want to get that? Not sponsored anyway, but I do prefer Yorkshire. A Yorkshire sauce. In fact, have I got some in my cupboard? I think I've run out. Whoops! My fan fell down then because I was going to go to my cupboard. I think I've got some somewhere at the back. Right, my fan's come down, guys. I'm just going to have to. I'm going to have to put it to one side. Right, I can still feel it though. So let me read the next. Oh, we need to add some tomato puree in as well. So tomato puree, let's add a little bit of this in. Do we all know how to open these? So this is your cap. You turn it upside down. You push it down. And that's what opens the tomato ketchup. So just add a little bit in. That's it. And make sure it's tight because the amount of times I forget to put that back on. So just mix that in. Actually, I think we will add the kidney beans in now, you know. Right. So we've added the sugar in, we've added Worcestershire sauce. Yes, that was on the list. I'm looking at the recipe and I'm looking at the ingredients and not the recipe. So we've done the spices, simmer, add the tomatoes, water, stock cube, which we didn't need. Yeah, we don't add the beans in until 5 to 10 minutes before you're ready to serve. Okay, so I think that's probably one of the biggest things I've learnt today. Is don't add your kidney beans in yet. Don't add any of your beans until 10 minutes before. In fact, when you do a pressure cooker, they actually state as well to turn on your, you know, don't have the pressure on with the beans in, because obviously it doesn't take a genius to work that one out. So always just sort of leave it on a saute when you're doing kidney beans. Right, so that, we'll leave that to simmer away, guys. Okay, so whilst that's cooking now, we're going to move on to the next stage, which, are we good for time? Oh, we've got 20 minutes, so that should be enough time ready to serve, okay? And we'll add the beans in 10 minutes. But what we're going to do next is, we're going to do some, do you want to do the salsa or do you want to do the nachos? I'm thinking the nachos might need to be still warm, so it's probably best to do the salsa. Salsa. And I can actually use this side. So I'm gonna plug this in. Yeah, we'll do the salsa first. It's pretty easy. I'm just gonna grab my chopping board. So I've got a second chopping board. So that's cooking away. That's not on, so we're fine. So can you all see this okay, guys? So if you've got a magic bullet, where are we here? If you've got a magic bullet, these are perfect, or if you've got a blender, that's perfect as well, or a food chopper, then that's fine. So here is the recipe then for fresh salsa. You need 4 ripe medium tomatoes. Okay, so I've got some tomatoes here. These are quite large tomatoes. I'm just going to turn my fan off because it's making a bit of noise. So I'm going to chop these up. I'm going to add more tomatoes. I think more tomatoes is better. In fact, I'll use 3. So if you've got 3 big tomatoes, that's fine. So just chop these up. Try not to make a mess everywhere. And this is going to go straight into your container. So don't forget, this will all get blended up. So are you making notes? So in goes the tomato. I'm making a mess. If you're going to like a barbecue or you're hosting a barbecue, then you could easily make this. Okay, so tomato, one more tomato. Okay. He makes a mess and then tidies up and then goes back and does the same thing. Just be careful with your fingers. Okay, so that goes in there. So 3 tomatoes. Okay, next thing, we want half a red onion. So half a red onion. When you think about it, you can see why we need half. Let me just chop this on the other side, because then we don't have a lot of space. Take the skin off. Smell that chili. Sorry if I'm not, I can see the comments, but sorry if I'm not interacting as much. Just want to get this done and then I can go back and read it. So we're going to chop it up. So just, yeah, just going to cut this into little quarters. Pop it inside. Quite an easy recipe actually. I was quite surprised how quickly this salsa takes to make. We want a small clove of garlic. So I'm going to put this in whole. So in that goes, bit of garlic. Actually, I take the skin off. It would help if I took the skin off. You don't want the skin on. How are we doing for time? 15 minutes. We'll have the beans in 5 minutes. It's because it's so warm, it just makes everything 10 times slower. So in goes the garlic. Okay. And then you want, now it says fresh coriander. If you've got coriander, use that. I'm going to use some mixed spice. not mixed spice, sorry, some mixed herbs, not mixed spice. So first time doing this here, just going to add in some mixed herbs, get a good amount in there. Surprised it doesn't ask for any water. Does it ask for, oh, juice of 1 lime. It says chili or jalapeno, so I'm going to add in some garam masala. So I've got some garam masala. This is from Zook. I love these little seasoning pots. We've got quite a few people watching. Welcome in, everyone. Hope you're making notes. Do follow if you enjoy cooking recipes and things. We come live one day every month on a Saturday. So I'm going to add a little bit of garam masala just for the heat, probably half a teaspoon. So if you've got actual chili powder, then use that. Okay. I just wanted something a little bit to give it that bit of a kick. Okay, half a lime. So you want juice of half a lime. Let me just cut that on the other chopping board. Juice of half a lime. So this goes. This is definitely the food that you want when it's really hot. And I know it's very, very hot down south, especially in London and I think West Midlands. Let me know where you're watching from in the chat. So add the juice of half a lime. And then it says cumin if you've got cumin, but that's already in the garam masala. Salt to taste. So a little bit of salt. I'm just wondering where I put it. Where did I put my salt? There it is. So add that in. And I think, and then it says black pepper. You can also add some sugar if the tomatoes are very, what's called tart. That's what it says on here. And a little bit of olive oil. So we'll add a little bit of olive oil. Just a little bit. I don't know why we had that, but just a little bit. Right, are we ready to blend this up? So we're going to put the lid on the top. I think that's everything. Now it says not to blend, it says to pulse. So put the lid on. You shouldn't cook in bare feet in case, yeah, that is very true, but I make sure any sharp objects are put in the sink. So this is what it looks like, guys. So we're going to pulse this. Can you all see? You can just about see it. I'm just checking I've not missed anything. It just says place all ingredients into the NutriBullet. Tomatoes at the bottom. Never mind. They'll fall at the bottom anyway. Onion, garlic, chili, lime, cumin and coriander on the top. Pulse, don't blend, screw on the blade and pulse 2 to 4 times. Are you ready? Here we go. Can you see this? So you've got to be looking at this side. Are you ready? 3. That's cooking away. 3, 2, 1. Is that even on? We might need to add a little bit of water. Okay, I think it's done. So obviously it's not good. Because the tomatoes were not on the bottom, there is the salsa. So let's just have a little taste. Tomatoes. Actually, I think that's not going to be too bad. Let's have a little taste. Oh, that's really nice. That's really, really nice. If I just leave that off, that will... Look at that. That's perfect. Probably did it for too long, but... It's up to you how you like it. Sometimes people like the salsa where they can put the tortillas in and scoop it out. But I didn't want to do it too much because you want you want the tomatoes to be quite thick. Look at that. That's not too bad actually. I'd probably use less tomatoes as well. That's what's made it a little bit runny. So, but I'm happy with that. So let's put it into a little container or something, or a little dish. I've got some I can show you with. I'm just wondering if I could put it in. I could put it into a. It does taste really nice. I don't really have like a dish to put it in, but I'm going to put it into a glass. So I'm going to put this into a glass so you can see, okay? And then you can sort of scoop out. Look at that. It looks really good. It smells amazing. That lime juice does make the difference. So that's the salsa. Okay, I'll put that to one side. Now we need to do the dips. Let's put the kidney beans in. In fact, let's just stir this as well. We've just realised I've not done the rice either, so I'm going to turn this down now. The chilli's looking really good. It's not sticking at the bottom because of this pan, but I'm just going to lift it off. That's the chilli, guys, and it's really hot. So make sure everything's cooked through. I'm going to turn this down. Let's add in the kidney beans. It's up to you if you want to drain the juices off or not. I'm not going to, because I like all this flavour. So in go the kidney beans. Okay. I'm not going to add in the mixed beans, because I think if I add the mixed beans in, it's going to make it too heavy. But that is the chilli, guys. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. Right, I'm going to let that simmer again for 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, and we're going to do the nachos next. And then we should be finished then. I'm looking forward to this. Now, you want to get yourself some dishes for this. So, the nachos I'm going to do in my air fryer. I'll show you how to do it, but you need a dish then to put them in, because we're going to be adding cheese and toppings and stuff on there. Really simple to do. So, and you could put your salsa into the fridge as well if you wanted to. So we're going to get some tortillas. I've got these ones, tortilla wraps. These are whole meal. So I'm not going to rush, but I'm just going to do two tortilla wraps. Okay, I'm going to cut them into into 8, sorry. So slice down. And then cut them again. These are going to go in the air fryer. Put a little bit of olive oil on the top. Or you could do them in your oven as well. It's going to be so tasty, this. Right. So just make little sort of Dorito style, nachos. However, whichever shape you want, it doesn't have to be like that. Okay, so it should look something like that. Okay, I'm just a little bit busy, guys, so I can't bring anybody up whilst I'm doing this. I'm just gonna have to make some room, and then I can put them in the air fryer. Let's get this out of the way. As you know, I've got the world's smallest kitchen. I'm going to put the rice on as well. Let's get that into a pan, and then I can add a little bit of water to that. It only takes a couple of minutes. So I'll just show you the rice. There's the Mexican rice. Guys, do follow if you enjoy cooking recipes. Okay. just going to make some room, otherwise I can't get to my air fryer. We'll add some of that chocolate powder in now as well. So get that in there and give that a mix. This smells so good. Right, let's get the air fryer turned on. Get these going. Make some room. I don't need that, so we'll put that in down here. So I'm going to pop these on my grill. So just like that, just pop them on. We'll spray some oil on. You could put some salt and pepper on them as well. In fact, if you've not got a lot of space, just do them in batches. That's fine. So, but I want you to be able to see me making the nachos. Like, this smells so good. Let me just stir it. Actually, let's add some oil on. Get these going. So just a drizzle. Not too much, obviously, because it is an air fryer. And then I'm just going to put these on to bake on a low temperature. Check them after a couple of minutes. Okay, 180 degrees because you don't want them to burn. Let's mix this. I'm going to turn it back up again. Wow. Shall I have a little taste of it? Let me just give you a close-up. There we go, guys. Let me just grab this light as well. I've got a little light so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, let me just lift that up. There we go. That's what it looks like. Absolutely amazing. It smells good. I'm going to turn it back up. Turn that light off. Right, let's put the rice on. I've got everything going on at the minute. So add a little dash of water to the rice. Okay. Also give that a mix. Although the rice doesn't take long, as I say. Just make sure it's broken up. And I'm going to show you what you're going to need next. So get yourself that dish, because it's going to go back in the air fryer for a little bit. You could probably put them in actually if you wanted to. So nachos, here's your recipe. So 2 tortilla wraps, olive oil, pinch of salt. Oh, you could add a bit of smoke. 1 second, I don't know why it's doing this. There we go. Are we back on? It made me do a little puzzle, like to slide a little jigsaw piece. So tortilla chips 2, olive oil, pinch of salt, smoked paprika or cumin, which you can add to the, which we're going to add, 100 grams of cheese, black beans, drained and rinsed, but we've got beans in the chili, so don't have to worry about that. Tomato diced, red onion, finely chopped, spring onions, sour cream or Greek yogurt, fresh coriander and lime wedges. So we're up to the baking tray bit. Brush slightly with olive oil, sprinkle with some salt. Just add the salt. Now obviously you want them nice and crunchy, which they're going to go back into the air fryer anyway. And then add some paprika or cumin. Bake for 6 to 8 minutes, but turning halfway so they're golden and crispy. Once the chips are crispy, place them in an oven-proof dish, which we're going to do. Add your beans and your cheese evenly on the top. So cheese is next. So let me just grate some cheese. Are we good for time, Brenda? I might need a little bit of extra time here, just to show you them. So I'm just going to cut off some cheese. Mexican food and cheese is what you need. They go heavenly together. Oh, you want some spring onion as well? So I'm just going to cut the spring onion up as well, guys. I'm just going to cut them into little rounds. Check them. Turn them over. It's very hot, as you can imagine. Put the get in there. So the spring onions, I'm just going to cut into little rounds. This will sort of act like coriander on the top. We can add a little bit of mixed herbs on there. Are we good, Brenda? Are you getting ready? I feel like we should open up our own restaurant. What do you reckon? Okay, it's alright. Just gonna check the rice. Get in there. I probably would do more rice. I know, we're doing a chili in the heat wave. But it's looking amazing. And it smells amazing. Right, because this is going back in now into the air fryer, what we're going to do is we're going to get your tortilla chips, like that. I'm going to add them to my dish. Oh, dropping them on the floor, like so. I'm going to turn this back down. Okay, and then we're going to add some grated cheese on the top. I'm going to have to use this grater because I don't have my other one. So add your cheese on the top. We're going to do like a bit like a lasagna style. So this is going to be the cheese. Yep, just add that on the top. I might say that chilli might be done now. And then we're going to add more on the top. These are great, these glass dishes. I highly recommend getting these because they're perfect for air fryers. They're perfect to reheat food, store away. And this is a reality. You might see the items that I show you on TikTok Shop, and you might think, oh, he never uses them. But I do use them because they're absolutely brilliant, especially for, you know, for food that if you don't feel like eating, or you've got food that's going to go off. I'm going to turn this off, this chili now, so that's done. Check I've done the right one. It smells so good. Probably turn the rice off as well. But just keep stirring everything, because if you leave it... What is that? So this is a chili con carne. You could put layers of cheese on this as well. Sorry, Brenda, if I'm taking your time. How are we doing? I shouldn't be a little longer than a couple more minutes. But yeah, lots of cheese. I just want to make sure I've added everything. So black beans you could add. And then we're going to add that salsa on the top. Now, let me know in the comments, do you like salsa when it's hot or when it's cold? Because I'm thinking about adding the salsa on the top. Oh, we've got the tomatoes as well. So even though we've got tomatoes, we're going to add a... Actually, I'm not going to add the tomatoes, but you can add tomato if you want it. In fact, we will add it. Do I need to put it up? We've got the onions as well. I think that's really if you want to add a salsa to the nachos, but we've already made our own. So I'm not going to add any more tomatoes. We'll add the spring onions on at the end. We've got sour cream and the lime. So, where am I with this? So, we are going to pop this into the air fryer because it's got the cheese on, and just grill that for a couple of minutes. Okay, and then we'll toast up some more and then put it on the top. Right, I think I'm nearly there. And we've got the sour cream as well. So nearly there, guys. Oh, and we've got guacamole. I forgot to put guacamole as well. We've got sour cream here. I think this is probably going to go down to my favourite cooking Saturdays, just because of the amount of food that I'm making here. So let me get everything ready then to finish off with. I'm going to put it on a plate, but everything is going to go into the nachos, so we'll take this off. Guacamole circus, guacamole. Obviously I'm going to add more cheese on the top. But I'm just thinking, yeah, adding the guacamole on. onions just dropping on the floor. Oh, it's hot. Turn that round. The rice is done. And we've got the spring onions. We're just waiting for the cheese now on the top. In fact, I'm going to add the salsa on as well. So, and then we'll have the sour. I think the sour cream needs to go on cold. What do you reckon? So the cheese is for the nachos. Yep. And I'm just going to show you now. Look, there's the cheese. I'm going to add a bit of that salsa on. I think that's fine, you know. It's really hot. It's really, really hot. So I'm going to add some extra cheese on here. Let's get them in there. Right. So salsa's going on. Let me just lift this up. I want you to see it. Here we go. So a bit of salsa. My version. Okay. Bit of guacamole. This is like a starter, and then you've got all the chili as well. I'm nearly there, Brenda. I think Brenda's gone to go and get started. This is the guacamole I bought from the supermarket. So we're just going to add that in. Oh, this looks so good. Right. We're going to get some lime. Obviously there's onion already in the... so we'll put the lime on there. Last thing, sour cream. We'll spoon this on. I love sour cream. And then we've got the spring onions. And then I'm done, guys. Then I'm done. Just give it a quick stir. Nearly there. No, I didn't make my own guac. I would not have had the time on. I would not have had the time. Oh, that's gorgeous. So a few spring onions on the top. And there we have it. So, oh, a bit of cheese. Add a bit more cheese on the top. And there we have it. That is the nachos with guacamole, homemade salsa, spring onions, cheese. So that's the easy part. Let's just quickly serve up the chili, which I'll put into a little dish with the rice. I think the rice is cooked. I'm not having loads. So a bit of rice, bit of chili, bit of squeeze of, we'll put a few spring onions on the top of the chili as well. I'll put some mixed herbs on the nachos, there we go. And I think that's it. So there's the chili con carne. Brown rice, we're using Mexican rice, just store-bought. Let me put the light on so you can see it. Where's my light gone? There we go. So there's the chili con carne. There's loads of it though, as you can see down there. And then here is the nachos with homemade salsa. Look at that. So thank you for watching, guys. Do follow if you're new. We're going to go over to watch Brenda now, so make sure you're following Brenda. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone. I'm off to go and eat this now. But yeah, do more tortillas and more cheese on the top if you love more cheese. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.